Godwin?
What's going on? Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. This is phenomenal. I mean, let's go straight to the beginning because this is an industry that really has been not accessible to black entrepreneurs, and yet you found a way to get moving right there in this amazing space. Please tell us about the beginnings of this.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, first of all, for having us. Moovn has been around for like the past 9 years. We started off here in Seattle as a black-owned rideshare company. Um, the, um, the the beginning of it all was all based on just seeing these black and brown brothers who make up 99% of the driver base across the country and maybe around the world. Just out there constantly fighting for their rights to be heard. And, we felt like here we are, we're innovators. Can we answer to that problem? Can we help empower them? And, we got started and, they've come out overwhelmingly in support of us. What we are doing is transforming their lives. We are answering to a lot of constraints that you hear from other larger platforms that have largely disenfranchised them. And because of that, we feel like it's not only just a rideshare company, it's a movement. We call it a movement.
Ah, I love it. And I can see here your colleague on the back of the shirt. It says hashtag get moving.
Get moving.
I love that.
Yeah.
But also this is one of those things that where we are really seeing the surge of technology kind of intersecting with our personal lives. People are using rideshare and delivery style services in ways that you can't only just have it in a physical sense, but you also have to understand that technology and the background. Tell us more about how you've been able to utilize all of the technology to benefit Moovn.
Absolutely. That's a great question. So, entering the technology space was not an easy endeavor, and especially dominated by larger companies and larger competitors. And, for us as a minority owned company, even funding was a challenge. And especially when, our competitors are valued at billions and we're just coming out from, ground level. But we used a grassroots kind of sort of bootstrap approach to building this application. Yes, in the earlier stages we had our kinks, but I'm proudly saying that as of to date, 100% of our technologies are made in Africa, powering U.S. cities and beyond. And these are brothers and sisters in the continent, completely just pushing out innovation in a different level. Actually, to add on to that is something that has been a lifelong dream of mine, and that is to empower the continent. I'm Tanzanian born, grew up here in Seattle. Being able to take this innovation back to the continent was a dream. And as of today, 100% of our technologies that is powering Seattle and beyond is done and is done by young men and women.
Godwin, that is incredible.
Absolutely.
I spent some time in Tanzania and Kenya.
Wonderful.
So when you say this to me, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, the opportunities
Yes.
to be intentional, to build that bridge and ensure that
Absolutely.
you brought it
Well said.
to, the continent is really pure magic.
Absolutely.
I love that because that's really to me one of
Yep.
the ways that I see the beauty of technology.
Absolutely.
I mean, I get a little bit cynical sometimes. I'm like, people are like, like Instagram, for instance, like, why don't you have 10,000 and 20,000? And I'm like, yo, it's a job
It is.
to like build
It
up
is.
a
It
fan
is.
base
It
there
is.
when I'm on the ground and people like know me if I'm walking around. It's very different.
Yes.
And so I've had to learn how to play more in that space, but I love this because
Yes.
the beauty of technology is
Yes.
it is global
It's
like
global.
that, right? And so
Absolutely.
you are able to utilize some of the top talent
Yes.
on the continent to now
Absolutely.
benefit Moovn. It's great to hear that.
Yes.
So now, what is the kind of footprint of Moovn? I mean, are people able to use it kind of throughout Washington State? Tell us more about what it actually, the functionality of it on the ground.
Absolutely. So the functionality that we've launched Seattle, and we're pushing a lot of our driver base right about now, re-engaging them, so that way we can build up our driver base. And in the meantime, yes, you can download the app right now and book a ride and get around here in Seattle. We are in Nairobi, Kenya, and Dar es Salaam, Tanzania as well. This is a monumental time for us to return back to Seattle, and especially having spent a considerable amount of time building our capacity in across Africa. So
Yeah.
this is a good time.
I mean, you described it in terms of the foundational years
Yeah.
of building Moving, right? Like first you get the
Yes.
idea out there. I
Yes.
love that you had the opportunity
Right.
for everyday folks to really invest
Right.
with this kind of grassroots campaign, capital campaign. But
Right.
also, when people know more about this,
Yes.
there is such a movement. It's almost like another renaissance
Yes.
of, Black innovation. And
Yes.
every day I'm surrounded by it when I am
Yes.
just right here with this
Absolutely.
wall. And it is such a reminder
Yes.
of what we can do when we invest in our own communities, when we invest in our own solutions. And you are really answering something that I
Yes.
think many people out there have wanted to do and didn't know how. So
Yes.
now they can actually tap in with
Absolutely.
Moving. So folks can download the app. It's available
Absolutely.
on what? iOS and
And
Android,
Android,
everything. Just
absolutely.
tell us some of those particulars so
Sure.
folks can get plugged in.
Absolutely. I'm going to circle back a little bit and add on to what you mentioned as well. Is just I grew up here in the Central District of Seattle. I came out here when I was age 17. I was able to see myself as an African American, but also gone through the experiences, and also just having kinship in the continent of Africa. I found that it was very critical for me to be able to find a way to bridge our kinship
Yeah.
and being able to feel like that I'm a conduit of that bridging of technology is a blessing in itself. So I feel like this is more than just a ride share. It's redefining ride share. It is redefining technology.
Yeah.
And as to answer your question in regards to how you can get in touch with us, folks can download the app. MOOV as in Victor, N as in Nancy. We are also www.moovn.com. Follow us on social, Moovn at Moovn or Moovn, Get Moovn on Facebook, and feel free to reach out to us. Support at Moovn.com. We'll be more than happy to help. We have a great team. We have great folks around the world who are supporting our brand, who are continuously making this innovation is great. And join the movement.
Join the movement and get moving
Get
with
moving
Moving.
and keep moving.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you have a real fan right here.
Thank you.
Anytime you have updates as you hit other cities across the
Absolutely.
country, globally, I want to be able to celebrate with y'all.
Absolutely.
So feel free to bring all those announcements right here to the Day with Trey. We got your back. We are supporting you 100%.
I appreciate that.
This is something that is at the ethos. I can just hear Omari in my ear right now about his time on the continent, how
Right.
dope this concept
Absolutely.
is. So thank you so much
I
for being
appreciate you
here on
having us.
Converge and on my show.
I
And
appreciate
I'm
it.
telling you, anytime you have updates, Godwin, bring them right on here. I got you.
Absolutely, and appreciate you having us. One big thing that we wanted to make sure we add on there in terms of the user side, we don't have surge pricing, so don't get surge, get moving.
Don't get surged. Get moving.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank
Godwin.
you for having us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You guys are